Plenty of football left as we follow Michael Leisha out onto the field in 16 for Cronulla. Been outstanding since he came into the game midway through that first half. Lovely shot of a rugby league headquarters. Nguama went down injured fairly early in that first half, but played on strongly after that.
Yeah, he's come back very strong, Nguama. Stuart Mills there, he's been strong defensively as he is always, and you'd have to think the Windsor Wolves need to get off to a strong start and get some momentum early on in this second half to get them back into the grand final.
So time on, the resumption of play in the VB New South Wales Cup grand final. Tim Robinson carts the football back, met by a wall of green and gold defence. Tangatau hit him hard. Now Arval takes a run. He's been good today. The Sharks left centre for Fifita, proving a handful as always. Tackled just short of his own 30-metre line via Puno Tia Khalifi. And now Leisha, another one of his runs. We talked about how good it is to see youngsters backing themselves. He's one that continues to do that, Leisha. Now drifting across the park, Tyrone Peachy, far too laterally on that occasion, was picked off by Kyle O'Donnell down low in a nice tackle. Comes back to Townsend, hurriedly puts a kick in and does well. It's turned out okay. He toes it through. It's into space. Robinson getting back there for Windsor, and it does go dead in goal. So back to the 20 we come for the restart.
Yeah, Townsend, he went to kick the ball, had some kick pressure, and ended up coming with a little kick option and nearly paid off for them, really, just falling dead as the Windsor Wolves nearly made ground in the left-hand side. They had the Cronulla Sharks short there, but not a bad start to the second half from the Cronulla Sharks, and the Wolves already on the back foot.
Yeah, they were spreading it quickly there. There was half a chance. Daniela couldn't get the ball away, though. Cherrington plays it. Tangatau gives it to Ito Nabuli. And Nabuli runs into the left shoulder of Michael Leisha. Fifita assisting too. So Windsor about 12 metres on its own side of halfway. This would be Hollis playing it to Tangatau. And O'Donnell, I think, up towards the Sharks' 40-metre line. Good quick play the ball. And a kick that will put some pressure on Gardner. And he does well, snaps it out of the air, gets back into the field of play, but a foot over the touchline.
Go on, drop out.
So this time Windsor has a little bit of luck, and they prepare to receive the football.
Yeah, but you make your own luck. Catewell puts a nice little kick, left foot kick in down the right-hand corner. A nice little kick chase. Gardner does well, slips over, and just, you'll see here, well, does his foot touch the dead ball line? I'm not so sure. That's very close. You'll see here from the front angle. I don't think it did.
No.
I don't think it did.
So a tough call against the Sharkies.
Oh.
Gardner knows it too. Yep, there you go. A shake of disbelief.
Well, if the Windsor Wolves score now, that is a huge turning point in this match.
Short drop out. Weird kick, really. It gets a roll on anyway at the end of it. And Windsor, through Sam Hollis, tackled a metre short of the halfway line. So centre field, can Windsor hit back and be the first to score in this second half? Here's Moylan, a ball on the outside to Robinson. Robinson, he's jet propelled but into touch. Great tackle over there. And putting pay to that attacking raid. Good play, both teams.
Oh, beautiful defence from Arval. Robinson, when he's in space, he normally scores the tries. Moylan throws the ball. Looked to be maybe a touch forward as a line ball, but Robinson, when he's in space, as I mentioned, he scores 99 times out of 100, but Arval, beautiful tackle. Good cover defence from the Cronulla Sharks, and they deserve that. They're unlucky to be in that position. Well, they deserve that.
Yeah, big plays like that win big games. Let's head downstairs to Lara on the touchline.
Just the messages from both sheds. Tony Herman for the Sharks just reminded his side that this game looking very similar to week one of the finals when Windsor came over the top of the Sharks. So his message really was control the ball, do not switch off. For Windsor, very simple message really. Control the ruck, complete your your sets, and just an interesting stat for Windsor. They've only been held to scoring less than 20 points twice this entire season. So we know they've got plenty of points in them to come back from here.
Well said. Luke Capewell, some running repairs from the trainer. This scrum to pack on the Cronulla 10-metre line. So a promising start by Windsor to this second half.
Boys, form it up.
I thought Robinson was going to scoot
Seconds, lock, set,
and plant it down in the corner, but Kirisomi Arvau, he had different
Hold it.
ideas, jumping out of the ground, making a vitally important tackle. Tunanapaya, tackled by two Wolves, Cherrington leading the way. Townsend gives it on to Tim Robinson. No, in fact, it was the centre, I beg your pardon, Stuart Mills. They look identical. Now for Fifita. Tackle down low by Hollis and three Wolves across the top. Now Sopawanga. Straight up the middle, heading in behind the markers. Good quick play, the ball too. This is a good set by the Sharks, isn't it? Leisha probing as he does, ducks under the tackle of Eisenhuth again. Was stopped eventually by Austin. Cronulla really slick work in this set. The kick from Townsend, fielded by Moylan. Not sure the kick was ideal at the back end of what was a promising set.
Yeah, not the ideal kick from Townsend. He did find the ground. Good set of 6 from the Cronulla Sharks. I thought the defence from the Wolves was real strong, then they lifted. Good contact from Cherrington on the opposition players. And the Wolves, they're looking tired out there. They've got to try and get a big kick away at the end of this set.
So second phase here. Tangatau links up with Austin, who hit the ball at pace. Sopawanga and Townsend combined to crunch him. And the Windsor 6 is not well. Cameron Serraldo, and Nathan Smith, the top two tacklers for Windsor, with 17 and 18 respectively. Politonian Sopawanga, 15 tackles apiece for the Sharks. That was just heavy contact.
It was, and you'll see there, Townsend's left hand made contact with Blake Austin's head. There isn't much in it, obviously, but definitely uncomfortable for Blake Austin. And we've just seen Tyrone Peachey exiting the field too, so I'm not sure if he's injured or they're just giving him a breather, but only 5 minutes into the second half seems like an unusual interchange.
Yeah, Austin still with the trainer. Yeah, I'm looking at Peachey down on the Western Tough line. He looks okay. There's no trainer nearby, which would indicate he's fine. So Austin back to his feet. And Windsor getting a penalty for a lazy high shot against Cronulla. And that's a tremendous kick for touch on the western side of ANZ. Wolves will restart play on the Cronulla 20 and go on the attack. Convert a try here would be handy for them. Eisenhuth, just 20 years of age and a pass that's absolutely unnecessary. And the Sharks diving on it with Varve. Windsor will be filthy with that. Varve and Cherrington. No, not Varve. It wasn't him. It was Matthew Wright. My apologies. And now they're in. The boys are coming in from all over the place.
I've got no
push and shove.
Leave it, gents. Panani, let's go. Come on.
So temper's boiling.
Hey, David, that's not going to help. It's not going to help, David.
Hey, you knew he's looking for one when he came in for the other tackle.
Hey, calm down. The whistle went straight away for that penalty. Paipuna, go away, shit. Matt, go back. Yeah. Yeah. Kyle, move your boys there.
Yeah, Cherrington. Cherrington on Stuart Mills. That was bad.
Hey, hold change.
Oh, wow.
He'll have a massive case to answer.
Yeah, I think Chero's going to be in a little bit of trouble here. And as you can imagine, the Cronulla players not taking that too lightly. A high shot from Anthony Cherrington. Just a clumsy tackle. He's been strong in defence so far today, but he took his eyes off the player.
You remember 7 and 12 Cronulla. Yeah, okay.
So Stuart Mills.
Guys, Chad, if you could come out, and you're number 12.
Still
you're number
receiving
12.
attention.
Just ask him to come out. Luke, I'll call you in a second. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Caution. Yeah. Just want you to listen and touch judge's report, okay, guys?
All right, mate, I've got these two guys running in, becoming involved, just a caution.
Guys, don't need any second reactions. I've blown the penalty straight away on that one. I don't need you coming in. I understand you're the captain, but you've got to lead by another way, mate. Not like that. Don't get your blokes running in. Chad, let's go away. That's it. Just a caution, you two. Go back. 12. And Luke.
He's a very good referee, the way he handles things.
Well, he shows respect to the players and he communicates in a way that they respect him and they listen to him.
You've got this? Okay. Just as a
This is a
CJ.
big call.
So what we've got here, as this player's coming to make a tackle, come in the swinging arm, make contact with the player's head. The result here and penalty.
Can you take the mark?
Yep.
Listen, on report. Let's just play it smart. Get the tackles down, boys. Penalty over here, guys.
So
When I'm at the
Cherrington on report, and without trying to preempt his destiny, I think he's going to have an issue.
Yeah, I thought he was in a bit of trouble. Then I thought they could have possibly been sent off. I didn't think he would be, but there was definitely a possibility. He made contact with the Stuart Mills head, but Stuart Mills is up and moving. He looks to be okay.
So we've seen no shortage of push and shove and tempers fraying in the opening 6 minutes of this second half, as Tupo Sopawanga goes for a run towards the centre of the ground, tackled on the Windsor 40. Tim Robinson, centre field. Leash up at acting half. Now an inside ball to Matthew Wright. Wright, born in Wellington, only 22 years of age, massive man. Inside ball to Gardner. And we saw the back row for Windsor putting a lazy arm out to stop him. Townsend, as they come to the open, got time and puts it onto the chest of Mills. Good defence by Windsor. Mills throws it out the back. Now racing back is Stapleton. And Windsor has the football back.
Well, you've got to feel sorry for Paul Stuart Mills. He cops a hit in the head, gets KO'd. Now he gets a cutout ball from 20 metres away and comes up with the error. But the poor bloke, he's just been KO'd in the last 5 minutes, obviously not feeling his best, and gives the ball back to the Windsor Wolves.
As Cherrington goes for a run, gets himself back involved. Robinson was the tackler along with Townsend. Austin, and there is a knock on from Luke Capewell. So at the 48th minute mark of this game, a mistake by Windsor. We'll see the Sharks get possession.
Yeah, we spoke at half-time about the Windsor Wolves going too wide too early, not going through the middle of the ruck and earning the right to throw the ball wide. That was the same instance then. They hadn't made a dent in the Cronulla Sharks defence. And unfortunately, Austin goes for the wide pass to Catewell, who puts a simple ball down, but they were going too wide too early. If you look at the completion rates, well, that tells the story.
Yep, 86% Cronulla.
Yeah, 19 from 22 for Cronulla, 14 from 21 Windsor, and there you go, the errors. Only 4 for the Sharks compared to 8 to the Windsor Wolves, and the pressure is compounding here, and the Wolves are feeling it.
16 missed tackles to Windsor, 9 Cronulla. So, it's time off period. Chance for the players to rehydrate.
It's been a slow start to the second half. I mean, there's only been 8 minutes 26 in the second half. We've got an injury here.
Yep, Ido Nabuli.
To Nabuli. Hopefully he's good too. I mean, players have been dropping everywhere. You wonder if the heat does have anything to do with the injuries as well. And at least they're getting a breather now, but a lot of players feeling the heat.
We'll head downstairs to Lara for an update.
Yeah, Tyrone Peachey we saw come off the field just a few minutes ago. It looked okay, but going over to the bench and talking to the trainer, he actually suffered a subluxation of his right shoulder in that first half, which I'm told is basically a partial dislocated shoulder. Not as bad as a full dislocation, but still a worry. He's off for now. They're going to give him a bit of a rest, and hopefully he can get back out there.
So a vital piece of info. Thank you for that, Lara. Well done. Ido Nabuli, meantime, is A-OK, back on his feet, and we have time on again. Oh, Mills dropping the ball, and Townsend racing back. Ref says play on, went backwards. So no score so far in this second half, with the Sharks leading 18-8 at the break. Fafita is running sideways on this occasion. The Wolves charge in. Nkwama and Tia Khalifi. He just manages to promote the football into Windsor's side of the field. Robinson from a standing start, and he gave it on to Matthew Wright. Right tackle by Cherrington. Now Leisha, dummy, and goes straight ahead. Another quality carry by the acting half. Plays it on the Windsor 30. Now Sopawanga. Gardner wrapped up by Ito Nabuli. Then he got away from not just Nabuli but also Hollis. Back towards the middle. Tangatau grabbed him.
Guys, high tackle.
And
14, lower.
Tangatau was pinned by referee Adamski for a high shot. It's all going the way of Cronulla. It was a lazy effort, no malice.
It was, but it's costing the Windsor Wolves. They've come up with a few lazy attempts to tackle
Taking the shot
in the second half. And as you can see, the penalty count there to the Cronulla Sharks, 6 points, 6 penalties to 2, sorry. And it gives them an opportunity now to get to a 12-point lead, which obviously makes a 2-try deficit and the advantage well and truly in the Sharks' hands.
Mark's here. Let's get a move on or the clock's going to stop.
So at the 50th minute mark, Townsend will take this shot at penalty goal. He's been in
Stay onside.
great nick with the boot, having landed 3 from 3 so far this afternoon. Also made 11 tackles, a couple of hit-ups, Townsend. He's had a busy game. Robinson, the leading defender for the Sharks, with 16. That's a great effort when you consider he's only been out there since about the 20th minute mark.
He's made 11 hit-ups as well, so big effort from Robertson off the bench.
So Townsend, as you look at the angle that the Cronulla number 7, who's bound for the Warriors next year, is working with. Heading across the Tasman for an opportunity, but he deemed too good to resist. Away it goes, flags in the air. 4 from 4 with the boot for Townsend this afternoon. 20-8. Making Windsor's project that little bit more tough.
Yes, and the Windsor Wolves, well, discipline has let them down so far in the second half. We're only 10 minutes in, so we've got a long, long way to go. And the Windsor Wolves, as we mentioned, can score tries from all over the park, but they've got to get the ball in hand. They need to force an error and mistake out of the Cronulla Sharks, and they need to do it soon.
Holden Cup, a reminder, you'll see live coverage on Fox Sports. Following full time in this game as Robinson returns the footy. His 12th carry of the match. Now Tunanapaya, he crosses his 20-metre line. Leisha again, providing tremendous nuisance value out of acting half for his team. As Junior Moores goes on another run, he reaches the halfway line. His stats good today too, 9 hit-ups and 12 tackles. Now Sopawanga, he chimes in with a run of his own, met by Eisenhuth and Tangatau for Windsor. Townsend at first receiver. A midfield bomb. Big Matthew Wright is chasing through, taken at the back safely, however, by Matt Moylan. He'll play it to Robinson. Gives it on to Wes Nguama from a standing start. Tackled by Wright and Robinson and Tafua. O'Donnell gets to his own 30. Capewell at first receiver. Austin on the outside to Daniela. The sliding defence of Stuart Mills too good. Daniela hurt, fell awkwardly. Ito Nabuli at acting half. Thought he'd have a run, but elected to give it to Eisenhuth. Eisenhuth flops it back. Austin forced to race back and clean up the dregs. Daniela is still down on his haunches, as you can see. In back play, will now go back into position as Moylan, another torpedo punt. This time lands in the waiting arms of Nathan Gardner. Bit of indecision with his run back. Heavy defence by O'Donnell. Young Tunanapaya. Tunanapaya, he breaks through the first line of defence. Dragged down rather by Luke Capewell. Would play the ball. Arvao, who's been terrific with and without the ball today. Powerful run out of acting half. Tunanapaya having another crack. And this is an excellent set by the Sharks. They've come a long way downfield on tackle 4. Now Robinson, another settling run up the centre. Tangatau comes in. Anderson back out on the field for Windsor. They're an infinitely better team for mine when the number 8 is out there. Now Townsend to Stuart Mills. Grubbing kick, Ito Nabuli. Strange tactic there for mine.
Yeah, it was. They tested their hand with Townsend hitting Stuart Mills on the right-hand side. What about the defence? He's thrown the ball. Opportunity for the Sharks.
Robinson picks it up. Penalty to Windsor anyway, just as well.
No, Matt, no.
What about the defence from the Cronulla Sharks? They've lifted the momentum, the intensity. They come out of the line, they're offside and give a penalty away, which is unfortunately for them, but the Windsor Wolves completely on the back foot. They need something to happen. They need it to happen soon. As you see, look at this hit there from Matty Wright. He showed so much energy since he's been on the field. He's had a huge impact off the bench.
Good to have your company on Australia's Sports Leader. Live coverage of the VB New South Wales Cup Grand Final. The Sharks with a 12-point advantage, but plenty of time left in this. Austin, Moylan, Daniela, now Nabuli. The big Fijian slips as he came to Chad Townsend. Chad thought, how good's that? Now the Wolves, they go to the open side. Austin, a dummy, takes them on. Sharks equal to it defensively with the veteran Mark Tafua. Windsor now into the Sharks 20-metre area. Moylan, Nguama, Travis Robinson. They keep it alive back to Moylan. Some razzle-dazzle here from the Wolves. Nathan Smith, I think. He loses the ball to Chad Townsend. Oh, Windsor, your own worst enemy again. Matthew Wright. Serraldo back out there for Windsor too. Had a barnstorming start to this match, the big number 10. 18 tackles, 9 hit-ups. His final game of football. Robinson, heavy contact with Cherrington. Anderson comes in to lend a hand too. He had a long break off the field, Sam Anderson. Provides his side with wonderful go forward. Leisha. Wrapped up by the 17, Eisenhuth, and Leisha not well. Ginger play the ball. Dropping kick that bounces nicely for the recipient, Travis Robinson. He's back towards his own 30. And 3 Sharks are there to stop him.
Yeah, not a good set. Not a good finish to the set from Manu Malili with his kick down the left-hand side. There's a bit of a stalemate at the moment as we see Austin make a half break, but no one's really... He's come up with an error, Austin.
Yep, he has.
Just when they didn't need it.
The Sharks rejoicing. Well, their completions have been a real letdown. And there's the head-on angle of the Windsor pivot losing control of the ball. And Stapleton gets up rejoicing.
Well, the Cronulla defence has just been too strong today. So far in this match, they've been real disciplined. They've been hard.
They're not making an effort. Pop up. Stand here, though. Let's stay around.
They've definitely had the advantage in
Cronulla,
that department. We thought that leading into the match. As you can see there, tackled 16 times in opposition, 14 times in opposition 20. The Sharks compared to only 6 for the Wolves.
Second clock sets in.
They've dominated field position in the second half.
Chad, hold it.
And that is off the back of their defence and how strong they have been.
You know, a fair percentage of that Windsor 6 occasions too was in the opening 10 minutes of the game. So it's unknown territory for Windsor largely. But they're imploding off the back of unforced errors. If they can just steady the ship and complete with a good kick chase and give themselves some chance, we know they've got the points in them. Matthew Wright, good run. It was left to Nathan Smith. Some scrambling defence by Smith, the 128-game NRL veteran. It's been batted on. It comes out to Stapleton. He pins his ears back. Can he get there? Moylan wraps him up in a terrific ball and all tackle. Cronulla, they've got Windsor on the rack here. Townsend steps. He's got plenty of time. Hoists a long pass. Must have gone 30 metres, that pass. Moores keeps it alive. And now it goes to Arvau, and Arvau will score. Cronulla ramming home the advantage. Too much possession. Too much good field position. Windsor had to crack. 24-8.
And it started with Townsend. They did have to crack. It was only a matter of time. They've had all the possession of the Cronulla Sharks. Townsend throws a 20, 30-metre pass out to Moores. And watch Moores, brushes off Nguama, gets the offload back here, back on the inside to Manu Malili. He sums up the situation, draws Robinson and Arvao. If anyone deserves this try, Timmy's had an amazing day in defence and attack. Gets a try. He gets a good break for the Cronulla Sharks on the Windsor Wolves.
He scored a try in 6 of his last 8 matches. Kirisomi Arvao. He's been one of the Sharks' best on field today.
Oh, for sure. I mean, he made that try-saving tackle against Robinson early on in the first half. Robinson being one of the quickest players in the NRL, let alone the New South Wales Cup.
Let's go.
But out of nothing then. It was all off the back of Junior Moores. He has the ability to create the offload. As we look at the grounding.
That's all right.
That seems to be fine, doesn't it, from Arvao?
Now, a compelling stat if you're a Windsor supporter. On every occasion this season that the Sharks have scored 24 points, and that has been 19 times they've won. So if that stat means anything, it's going to be a really tough assignment for Windsor.
They need to find something. They've been a bit stale in the second half. They haven't come out with much punch or intensity, the Windsor Wolves. They've made a few errors and they've tried to throw the ball side to side and really haven't gone through the Cronulla Sharks at all. They need to change up their game plan. They need to do it now.
So Townsend, who hasn't missed 4 from 4 today, steadies himself. It's a beautiful kick. Gets the extras 26-8. So the New Zealand-bound Cronulla playmaker finishing his career with the Sharks on a very strong note.
As we have another look at the put down, that's a try. That's a try. I mean, wasn't the most convincing of put downs from Arvao, but you give that a try any day of the week.
So back underway. And Tafua is the man bringing it back. Former Newcastle Knight of Samoan descent. And now here's CSA Vave, aligned to the Melbourne Storm.
Those two men, Tafua and Vave, underestimated by all of us. We don't talk too much about the front rows from the Cronulla Sharks, but Vave and Tafua have played week in and week out, got them on the front foot and given their halves. And these players, like Moores, the opportunity to run the ball and that freedom on the edge.
I can't argue with that, Braith. Yeah, the likes of Brett Finch were getting so many raps and justifiably so, but the starting front rows for Cronulla have been supreme all season. So Townsend puts this high in the air. Matt Moylan hardly had to move. There's nothing going right for Windsor, is there?
There isn't. And if anyone was going to drop the ball, we wouldn't think it would be Matty Moylan. Fantastic player.
Cameron, you are
definitely a star of the future, but not one of his brightest moments. As you can see, he takes his eye off the ball. There it was, just late. He had it under control, took it for granted, and the poor young fella comes up with an error at a crucial time in this match. And once again, the Cronulla Sharks given good ball in good territory, and they've made teams pay time and time again throughout this 2013 New South Wales Cup season. Will they do it again? We'll soon find out.
Look out, more trouble here looming for Windsor. The Sharks to get the football 10 out from the Wolves line. Moylan debuting in round 7 in the top grade against the Eels this season. You'll want to forget that era. Here's Arvao. Very strong. Dragging players downfield with him. Capewell made the tackle. Gardner goes to acting half a dummy and takes off, has a crack himself. The Cronulla fullback, his opposite number, Moylan, was there waiting for him. Now right. He has a look too. Good defence. Wes Nguama that time. Now it's Politoni, and still able to get the pass away to Junior Moores. Junior Moores for the line. He's got it down based on the way the Cronulla players are celebrating.
I haven't seen it get down.
Ref not convinced.
Okay, mate, of course. We have a try. Just want to check grounding.
So he's happy to go with try, pending a look at the grounding.
It was good lead-up work from Politoni to give Moores the opportunity. Does he get the ball down? You'll see he doesn't get it down at first, but he twists over the top of Robinson. Surely there it is. It looks like the ball touches the ground. Full of momentum, Junior Moores. We'll see here, can we see the ball touch the ground? I think from the other angle you could see it a bit more clearly. You're not really going to get a view from here, but it looks like it's going to be a try. The referee has given it a try, in his opinion.
Yeah.
This angle here.
A lot of arms and legs in the way, though. Based on the way the Cronulla players reacted immediately, you'd think they'll give that. And they do. So the Sharks extend the lead 30 points to 8. Heading for premiership glory at ANZ Stadium. And for Junior Moores, thus far in this game, 14 tackles, 12 hit-ups, an offload, a line breaker try.
He's had a big year, Junior Moores. A big semi-final series too on that left-hand edge. He's a big man. He's got plenty of skill. He can offload before the line, at the line, and he can score tries. He's a great player and a good substitute then from Politoni. He come off the bench into the hooking role and took over from Leisha, who had a great impact since he'd been on the field. But Junior Moores gets his first try of the day, and no one deserves it more than him.
Yeah, Politoni, he's solid. The former Tiger. He's had one NRL start. Man, you're looking at Junior Moores, 59 NRL appearances. Former Panther, former Tiger, now aligned to the Melbourne Storm.
You wonder why he hasn't had much more of a first-grade opportunity. The way he's played in the New South Wales Cup this year has been outstanding.
He is 27, so you're right, aren't you?
Well, there'll be plenty of people watching this, so you never know.
So Townsend looking for goal number 6, and he is human after all. He pushes that one away to the left, and we will take Italara Pitt right now.
As the Sharks look like they could be celebrating a win, we know their success this year has largely come off the back of the fact that they're lucky enough to have 2 feeder clubs, the Sharks and the Storm. But their coach, Tony Herman, says to me they're just such a tight-knit group, and that makes all the difference for him as coach. Players like Dane Weston and Slade Griffin from the Storm have been out for the season injured, and they've come up here to support the team. That's evidence of that. But also a number of players leaving: Townsend, Mills, Tafua, Peachy, possibly Manu Malele, and this is all their last chance to go out on a high, and it looks like they could be doing that.
Okay. Stapleton plays it to Politoni, and now Big Tafua. Strong as always. 5 short of the halfway line. He'll play it back to Pat Politoni. And this time we see Varve lining up for a hit-up. Thinking about an offload. Now he goes to ground. Eisenhuth making the tackle along with Serraldo. Now Junior Moores creating havoc out there again on the edge. Sam Anderson wrapped him up, down nice and low. To the open side. And a kick by Townsend with Moylan underneath it. No dramas there for Windsor. And Cronulla has them right where they want them.
12 early, 12 right, 12 involved.
Cronulla always entitled to start favourite today, but I thought Windsor would be more competitive. It has just been errors and poor completion rates, and of course the defensive lapses we highlighted during half-time. Sam Anderson takes a run following the charge of Cam Serraldo. Now Robinson wants to get into the mix and does a good job too. Links up with Moylan on this occasion. Tackled 9 metres short of the halfway line by Junior Moores. Serraldo let it go to Smith, and Smith now to Daniela. And this is Cherrington. They're going backwards, Windsor, throwing haphazard passes. And that's just poor play by the Windsor Wolves. Now Stuart Mills falls on it for Cronulla. Not sure if it's frustration or what, but that was just terrible play. Townsend. Long pass. Didn't find its mark initially. Barbe basketballs it over the top. Vow is tackled. Eisenhuth it was that put him on the ground. Moores again. And some second phase to Tuna pay up, and towards the line the winger goes. So desperate defence here required by Windsor. Otherwise, it'll be try number 6 for Cronulla. Poor pass out of acting half. Grubbing kick through. There's been some interference there after the kick was made. Townsend appealing for a try. So, Adamski, a little non-plus, the referee. Head on. Ooh, that's a try.
Well, it's definitely worth going up to the referee, which he hasn't done. He's made the call. He's a confident referee, but I think that would have been worth having a look at. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, it might have been simultaneous touch with the Windsor player. Yep. Dead set looked like a try. So, Tafua. Serraldo the tackler. 30 plays 8. 13 minutes of the grand final remaining as the ball goes to Stuart Mills. Good tackle, Jeff Daniela. Sopawanga. Sopawanga for the line. And must be a blade of grass short. Adamski says play it. Townsend, he's got plenty of time. He's not being harassed. Moores. He got it out miraculously to young Tunapaya. He puts in an interesting kick that comes back, and Windsor has the football through Travis Robinson. Bit of indecision out there.
Bit of chaos. Tunapaya puts the kicking on the sideline. He didn't have to kick it. It was a 4th tackle, but testing their hands still, the Cronulla Sharks. They're in a really commanding position. They probably don't need to do what they're doing and throwing the ball around, but the Windsor Wolves certainly do as they try and test their hand on the left-hand side, but they're the team that are going to come up with points.
Daniela plays it after being tackled by Stuart Mills. Again, the Wolves are just going sideways, really. Cherrington, an easy target, back slam, dominant defence by Cronulla. Vave gives him a little pat on the head. I got one on you there. Now Anderson. Anderson with one leg in the air, advance the footy a couple of metres. Blake Austin, little kick over the top. Moylan, it was too long. Townsend read it well. I guess they've got to try something.
Yeah, good read from Townsend. Good experience shown. Then he knew that Austin and the likes of Moylan will be looking for that chip and chase. They're behind by 22 points. They're going to come and try and come up with a try somehow. And well read from Townsend. He's been really good today. His kicking game been superb. He's led the troops around very nicely. He's heading to the Warriors next year. So he'd like to finish off on a high. It looks like he's going to.
No shortage of fatigue out there. Very warm in Sydney. Temperature in the low 30s. Really starting to tell on both teams late in the game. With under 11 minutes remaining in this contest. Good carry by Mark Tafua, the 31-year-old. And Cherrington it is. He's in Disneyland. Must have got his head in the wrong position. It was a powerful charge by Tafua.
Cool, who was playing the ball? I know it was Cronulla tackle 5.
And a time-off period as the trainers attend to the stricken player.
Yeah, we've had a few stoppages today with a few players going down injured. It's never nice to see as fans, but also as players and seeing your teammates on the ground. Doesn't look good, doesn't feel good. Hopefully all is well.
Been a number of time-off periods in this game. At the 69.5-minute mark. And he's been out for a long time.
Yeah, we'll look at the replay and look at the solid contact right into the hips.
Oh, it's actually Blake South, my apologies. It's the number 9, Blake South.
He's too, look at that.
Thought it was Cherrington from side on. Yep, simply got his head in the wrong position. Not keeping his head to the side, not looking at his target, at his eyes down. And all the kids watching at home, that is not what you, that is not how you do it.
Anderson hasn't had the same impact today, young Anderson. He was taken off the field for a while. I feel for the Windsor Wolves. They've just lacked that punch in the middle, and normally he gives them that. Anderson, Serraldo, Khalifi, Cherrington, they've just been spreading the ball too wide too early, and we've mentioned on a number of occasions, but it's cost them dearly. Tafua, well, he's been outstanding for the Cronulla Sharks all year, and him and Vave on the other end have had great go forward and given their team so much momentum as we see Blake South moving, but still not looking the best.
Great to see, though. He was unconscious for a long time.
It's a scary sight. It happens week in and week out. It's a physical game, and all these young guys putting their body on the line.
It is very easy, Blake, to be fair, Braith, sorry, to get your head in the wrong position in the heat of the battle. It just happens.
Of course it is, especially when you've got someone with the size of Tafua running straight at you. You've got a millisecond to decide where you put your head, either left or right of his body. Unfortunately for Blake, it was right in the middle of his hip.
He's not going to remember much about today. We wish him well. Had a fairly long break with Tangatau out there playing at acting half. He appears to be joking now with the medical staff, which is a good sign. So Cronulla will go back on the attack from close range. Restart of play about 22 metres out from the Windsor line. Completions 29 from 32 Cronulla. That is outstanding. 17 from 27 Windsor. That is not outstanding.
Well, that's the difference right there.
Yep.
The completion rates, the errors, the penalties.
Yep. So
clinical from Cronulla.
So Cronulla only making a few errors. As Nathan Smith is forced to do it the hard way.
Great effort.
Yeah, miraculous piece of play by the Windsor lock. And now Windsor getting a penalty it badly needs. Marker's not square on. Sopawanga, I think, was the man.
Matt. Eto's in front of him. Jeff, behind. Thank you.
You just still look at the intent from the Cronulla Sharks. They give a penalty away for offside because they're moving up so quickly. They're getting in each other's ears. They're calling their teammates on. Let's go, get them. There's only 10 minutes to go. They're ahead by 22, and they're still playing the way they are.
Well, Lara spoke about it, didn't she, in describing what Tony Herman said to his troops at half-time. Don't be complacent. Windsor, we know, can hurt us from anywhere. And to their credit, they've gone on with the job and then some.
Well, that's right. They're certainly worried about the Windsor Wolves and the attack that they do have, but to be honest, the defence has been too good from the Cronulla Sharks. And look at this. Look at that hit there. Beautiful tackle from Stapleman. And that's what we're talking about. That's what they've been able to do. The Cronulla Sharks, time and time again, they've stopped the momentum of the Windsor Wolves and they've put them under pressure. And that's why they've come up with so many errors.
Yep. Ito Nabuli plays. He's seen no football at all in the second half, the big Fijian. We saw Serraldo playing a bit of footy in front of the line there. And offloading. So Windsor, one of the rare occasions we've seen them in a position to attack in this second half. Lovely take there by young Tuna Mapea. And here they go. Manu Malali, he got the ball back to Gardner. We know how much speed he's got. It's a foot race between he and Robinson. Lost it. Arval picked it up. Well, that was a really good sight, wasn't it? Two speed men of the game slogging it out down the eastern touchline. Gardner enjoyed that.
Well, he must have thought he was unlucky. He gets into open space, and the only person he sees is Robinson, one of the quickest players in the whole of the game. But what about the work from the Cronulla Sharks to turn that around from defence into attack? Great take from Tuna Mapea, who hits Manu Malili and Gardner. How quick is he in open space? Running down the sideline, nearly gets the offload back on the inside to Arvao, who would have come up with another try. He's second of the day, but the Cronulla Sharks, simply outstanding.
Another nice
Cronulla,
piece of class there, if you like, by Manu Malali.
Second row, his head's in.
Again, showing his silky skills.
Well, it's hard to believe he's off contract next year, the way he's played throughout in particular the semi-final series in the New South Wales Cup. I'm sure there'll be plenty of clubs putting their hand up to try and sign the young fella up. He's been outstanding today.
No doubt.
And remember, he got them off to the start with that left foot step for the first try of the game when they were under pressure early on in the match.
So Tangatau obviously back out there for the injured Blake South. Another run by Cameron Serraldo. 27 tackles, 12 hit-ups for Cameron in this game. Been a good effort. Blake Austin. Now Cherrington trying to punch his way through the line. Townsend making the tackle stick. And Cherrington's got a cramp.
I think Cherrington's been the best player for the Windsor Wolves. I think he's tried hard all day. Apart from that high shot, he's been very physical. He's come up with some really good defence. He's tried to rev his teammates up, but not to much avail, and hopefully he's not too injured here and it's just cramps.
Looks that way.
It looks like a bad one.
Well, there's no such thing as a good one. I've never felt a good cramp.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Oh.
You've got to back up and do the whole cup now with Mark and Michael.
I could be cramping up on the sideline.
He could be. So back underway, an out ball, and then it's drifted forward as the ruling. So Moylan trying to find some space for Robinson.
Change over, Mark's here. Mark, if you want, boys.
Well, they're going to go down fighting, the Wolves. They're still trying to score tries. It's what they've done all year. They've been so good in attack, lethal in attackers.
Great sign.
We see Peachy coming on to finish the match. That is a great sign. He deserves to be out there. We mentioned his semi-final series. He single-handedly annihilated the Newtown Jets in the second semi-final to get into the prelim, but he deserves to be out there. He's had such an impact on the Cronulla Sharks, and he deserves the premiership win.
Tunamapaya. Tangatau. Eisenhuth. Wes Naguama as well. Involved in the tackle. Polatoni to Junior Moores, and he goes beyond the halfway line. And one of his rare offloads actually in this game. He's played a real safety first policy today, Moores. Been more of a runner of the football. Generally, he offloads ad nauseum. Tunamapaya. Next man to play it for the Cronulla Sharks, leading 30-8. They're not done with yet. This is Tyrone Peachy after accepting the pass from Manu Malali. Gardner goes into acting half. And Mills, he links up with Gardner. It was well read by Sam Anderson. That's tackle 5. They're 15 out from the Windsor line. Grubbing kick through from Townsend. Pressure for Windsor again. Big Matthew Wright was on the fly. The restart of play will happen from beneath the Windsor uprights.
And once again, good execution from Townsend. He's built pressure time and time again today with his kicking game. Started off a bit slow, but after the beginning, he's put in some beautiful little depth kicks into the in goal. Got his team back possession of the football, which in these hot conditions has been a huge advantage. So his experience has been invaluable to this team today.
So Moylan gets us back underway. Line dropout that flew 45 metres. Tim Robinson, been outstanding for the Sharks. Has not shirked his job for 1 second. Varve. Polatoni. Townsend. Gardner uses Mills. And Mills tackled by Jeff Daniela. About 9 out from the Windsor line. Tyrone Peachy, he gives it back to Tim Robinson, who jogs at the line. Nathan Smith waiting for him with Cameron Seraldo. Can the Sharks get another one for good measure? 4.5 minutes remaining on the clock, as I think it's Varve going in search of the try line. That's tackle number 5. Polatoni throws it. And now Moores, and another try coming up to Kirasami Arval. Arval gets his second. Zbigniew Adamski points to the spot. Sharks 34, Windsor 8, kick to come.
And another lethal combination to the left-hand side. Manu Malili throws the ball onto Moores. Moores takes the ball line, hits Arval. Second try of the day. He's been outstanding today, Arval. But so is Junior Moores. Too big and too strong on the edges of the ruck, creating too much opportunities. They've been a class of their own today, the Cronulla Sharks. Execution been superb. They've taken their opportunities when they've been given them, and they've just been way too good for the Windsor Wolves.
Arval's 10th try of the season. He's been outstanding today. Has come up with some massive plays in defence as well, including a big effort in the first half when he ran down the flying Travis Robinson, who was away down the eastern touchline. It's a day that will live long in his memory.
No doubt. No doubt about it. This is what we all play football for, to be involved in this day, whether it's New South Wales Cup, Holden Cup, or the NRL Grand Final. This is what we train for. This is what it's all about. This is what we put all our hard work into, to reach one common goal as a team. And for this team, it's to win the New South Wales Cup. And they've done it. They've reached the pinnacle of their season with their mates by their side. It's a huge effort. And congratulations to the Cronulla Sharks.
They've been too good from the get-go. The team to beat. Townsend's only missed one goal today. That's better. On its way over the black dot. 6 from 7 for Chad Townsend, and a solid game in general play. So his final game for the Sharks, one that he'll be proud of, I'm sure.
No doubt about it. That's a big thing about this game today for the Cronulla Sharks too, is they've got key players and local juniors that are moving on at the end of the year. Townsend, Mills and Peachy, they're all local juniors. They've all played for the Cronulla Sharks since they've been knee-high, and now they're moving on, so they get to achieve this on the biggest stage of all together before they move on to their respective careers.
If you're wondering how Cronulla has fared in premierships at New South Wales Cup level, today will be their 3rd premiership trophy, having also won in 1994 and 1996. Robinson gives it on to Matthew Wright as they continue now downfield with Stuart Mills. Defence in the shape of Ito Nabuli stopping the Cronulla right centre in his tracks. And now we see Arvau again into space. He got away from Nguama with a fender. West comes back again to effect the tackle along with Tom Eisenhuth. So 1 1/4 minutes remaining in the New South Wales Cup Grand Final. For 2013, Junior Moore's another offload. Now out to Arvau, another touch by the centre. He and Nguama, they've had a battle raging over there on that side of the field all day. And the Cronulla centre has got the upper hand, you'd have to say. Tunanapaya does well. It's been knocked on, though, by Polatoni. So, really, the last play of this game will be a scrum to pack just beyond the Windsor 10-metre line.
Got to give the Sharks credit. They're fighting to the death. They're still trying to put points on as we speak. They've already piled on 36 points to 8, but they're still trying to score more tries and finish off as high and as good as they possibly can. Completely dominating today's match, and in particular the second half. And a well-deserved win for Feeder, and Tafua celebrating already on the sidelines. And you can see the Melbourne shirts combined with the Cronulla shirts to make this successful team that they have produced in the 2013 season.
Yep, no shortage of jubilation as the clock ticks down to full time. 15 seconds remaining. Here's Austin going for a run late in the contest. Just short of the halfway line. He's tackled by Chad Townsend. Open side. The Wolves from Nathan Smith, and second phase back to Smith again. Now Cameron Ciraldo, the last touch in his rugby league career, fires the pass to Travis Robinson. And that is it. The Cronulla Sharks, as the ball continued in play. Now it's out of bounds. And the Sharks are the 2013 VB New South Wales Cup champions.